And my friend, if you could just go right to the right to what was I just about to, yeah, go right to the stream itself and see if everything's looking alright.
On my way.
On dubs.
Wait, what the?
7 o'clock. We're gonna be late.
I don't know why is it not going straight to the event that we had set up? What the hell? I set it so that it was. Fuck.
Well, YouTube is telling me that our Gusto review is live now.
Yeah, I know. That's weird as fuck. Shit. That is. I'll just re-edit this as we are going. Let's see. This is gonna be a pain in the ass to edit as we go live, but you know.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind talking about Gusto again. I like Gusto. You like Gusto?
I think Gusto. I've only heard a couple of tracks off it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But I'd love to talk about Gusto again, but we gotta keep up with the times.
The times.
Gotta keep up with the album's release.
Well, I mean, I was yeah. Like I can definitely comment on Expect a Miracle. I don't know about Gusto. I haven't given it enough of a delve or whatever.
All right. Well, and did you what does the sound check say? Do we sound all right?
Well, I don't know because I can't see the current. Oh, here it is. I see it now.
Let's see. Wait, what the? All right. Let's see. And I need to like change up what's in the description. Yada yada yada. Alright. How have you been doing this week, Joe?
I'm alright. You know, I just got out of school, so life's good.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty good. Now you get to like actually devote your time to the stuff you'd actually like to do instead of the stuff you have to do.
Very true. Very true. No, yeah, totally. Yeah, it was a lot of this like bookwork stuff that I wasn't digging, but like I just want to play. So
yeah.
More time to do that.
Sweet. How is the curriculum over at Berkeley?
Oh, I go to UMass Lowell.
Well, Lowell. I'm sorry, I keep mixing that up. Isn't it like Derek Jameson goes to Berkeley?
Yeah, Derek goes to Berkeley.
Yeah. Let's see.
No, the curriculum. I mean, I'm a music ed major. They make us just do like all sorts of extra stuff. Like I have to learn to teach. Like there's brass methods. There's like woodwind methods. There's all sorts of stuff. But like, I don't know. I kind of want to just focus on guitar, but I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, it totally is.
Every semester is about like 20 credits. So
every semester is 20 credits. Holy crap!
Just about.
How do you live?
I don't. That's the thing.
All right. Well. So I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Nothing.
All right. But shall we get started? I guess, guys.
I mean, I guess I have the stream up now, and I can't seem to hear anything from the stream.
Just go to. There should just be I don't know. Like I don't know why is the video manager. Let's see live stream. Double check the YouTube account and see if there is another one because it would. Let me see if I can catch it from my YouTube account on my phone. Shoot. This is technical difficulties up the butt.
Right. Brought to you by...
Brought to you by Crest Toothpaste. It's not shit.
Technical difficulties up the butt. Brought to you by Crest.
I can't believe this.
Oh, god
This is
damn.
mine
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, we are. The video is live. Try try just checking the. Try checking the YouTube page for the podcast. It should be right up there.
Yeah, I'm on the YouTube page. Like, if I go to videos, it doesn't show it, probably because it's live right now.
Yeah.
But if I go to home, then it's right there. And that's what I've been clicking on. So I click on it,
And
loads, and so now I'm watching it and
let's see, Heartache.
just not hearing anything from it.
Not even. That is bewildering. Let's see. Frick biscuits.
What purpose does this serve?
All the guitar.
Oh, you getting those things?
Ooh,
Right.
neat.
Tomorrow. That's tomorrow. I'm gonna have an actually full-sized acoustic.
Woo! Yeah.
Whoop!
Oh yeah, dog.
Oh yeah, dog. Son,
Boy.
kid, boy.
Alright, so.
What is this? What is this?
Where'd you find this?
Most of these stories.
No. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. It's a Shaggy. It wasn't me.
It ain't me. It
Oh, it's
ain't
not-
me.
It ain't me.
See, and it's the last album that is Lucid Eternal by Dream Sleep.
Stop touching your shit.
You don't even
It's
realize.
just so interesting.
Alright, and okay. Alright, I think that is nearly everything. Let me just see if the link from the Facebook page at least gives us. Oh, what was that? Help.
Nothing.
I am greatly concerned.
We're all good over here.
It's just a ghost.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sure. Okay.
Just don't die over there, guys. Alright, so I'll just delete this, I guess. Delete this. And let us just post for the live dashboard. Copy. Paste. Oh, okay, cool.
It's weird because YouTube is telling me that there is audio coming from YouTube, but I just don't hear it.
Music we've been listening to this week.
What happens when I just press? Oh. Don't be concerned. I'm unable to listen to anything.
Oh,
I think it's because of my new microphone.
yeah, that actually might be it. Yeah, let's see.
Wonderful.
Because you said it was trying to
Yeah, I was trying to.
do sound.
It's not really doing sound. I can't hear anything coming out of the microphone, but
Let's
It's
see,
trying to.
Literally
publish.
can, I won't say it can.
Let's just share this on post. Alright, now. Alright, well, let's just kick this right into gear now that I guess technical difficulties are cleared up. Greetings, everybody who may or may not be possibly listening. I am Ian.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Joe.
And welcome to Not Moo, Episode 6, Expect a Miracle. And we're here today to talk about, well, music we've been listening to, Brian Huntress's fantastic Expect a Miracle from last year. Very timely, I know. And any music news we happen to have run across this last week. So, just to honor our guest, Joe, would you like to start talking about anything interesting you've been listening to this last week?
I'm so nervous. No, I listened to Expect a Miracle. I refreshed myself, but no, I bumped that for a while, and I was glad to revisit it. And yeah, no, I've been listening to too much Steely Dan lately. It's bad. It's like I have a problem. And
for those of us who aren't acquainted with Steely Dan, could you give us a little bit of a summary of them?
Pop, jazz, rock.
Pop,
that's about
jazz,
it.
rock.
But it's pop, so I feel ashamed.
Pop, I mean, there's some pretty good pop out there, not in just the general pop, but like the pop subgenres like dream pop, though. So I mean, if you like something that is pop, you probably shouldn't be ashamed of that.
No, I shouldn't, but like, I don't know. Steely Dan is such a dad band, and like, you know, my aesthetic is dad, and it works. Well, what it's doing, it's perpetuating this notion that I'm a father.
Well, I mean, now you just gotta make music to impress your teenage daughter.
What?
That was, we joked about this last episode when we learned about how several of the artists that Damon Albarn featured on the most recent Gorillaz record were just so that he can impress his daughter.
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah, really.
How valiant.
And then
Very.
we were talking about how, you know, I can't remember how you came up, probably just from one of us saying dad. But then my immediate thought was, Joe doesn't need to do something like that to, like, do that.
I'm
Joe,
already dad.
Yeah, you'll be a cool dad.
Yes.
You won't need to try to.
Well, I'd like to think that my aesthetic is closest to E from the Eels. Like, Snide showed me, like, the Eels, and it's this band run by this emotionally tapped, like, middle-aged man. And, like, it's literally it's me. It's frightening, because oh my god. He just smokes cigars and is just depressed.
Eelful and...
The eels are good, though. They're cool.
That's pretty neat. So, Cameron, have you listened to anything interesting this week?
Have y'all kids heard of Aphex Twin?
I think maybe once or twice around the block. They sound pretty obscure, though.
Well, they have an EP called Come to Daddy.
That's interesting to just come out recently.
No, it came out in 1997.
97. Okay, all right. That makes more sense. You just kind of bumped it for no reason.
I bumped it because it was cool. Like there's this. All right. So here's what happened. So there's this one song on the EP called Flim, and it's like there's this like it's essentially these like soft synths going through the song, and then like paired with these complicated like snare patterns. And what happened was Skrillex decided to post at one point on his Facebook. He posted a link to Flim, and he's just like, FYI, this is one of my favorite electronic music songs ever. You know, he's like, this is like my favorite song. And then all of his fans were just like, where's the drop?
Oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that.
And like if you go to like any video of Flim, you might actually like find you should have a drop. Or,
Oh.
or you'll find people complaining about the people saying, "Where's the drop?" But yeah, I decided to check.
What if you show them like Vaporwave or something, where there's no arc. It's just forward, 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 and it doesn't even like there's no climax or anything. Where's the drop? I don't know.
But yeah, I decided to look into the EP, and I ended up enjoying it. It's really weird, and I like weird, so it worked.
That's pretty great. Alright, so I'd actually just like to talk about about the new Slowdive record that just dropped Friday, if you guys don't mind listening to my little spiel about it.
Go ahead.
Alright, so after a 22-year-long hiatus, Slowdive reunited and decided that they would put out another dream pop record. They initially released one of the singles, Star Roving, back in January, kind of commemorating that it'll be coming out with an album soon. Then kind of fully announced it just a month prior with one of the songs, Sugar for the Pill, that kind of acting as the announcement itself as well. And then it just came out Friday. I've listened to it about 4 times, and I'm really on the fence about it. On one hand, I just love the 2 singles and a couple of the songs on it, but I kind of don't. I can't really form a solid opinion on this album at all, and I'm waiting on people to kind of give their opinions so I can kind of like solidify my thoughts, and I just don't know. I don't know. Like, there's some very good landmark songs on it, but it's just really hard to articulate how I feel, because it's like, what was I even expecting at this rate? Was I expecting something similar to Savlaki, their 93 release? Was I expecting something similar to Just for a Day or Pygmalion? Or was it something completely new? Like, I had no idea where my expectations lied, other than it was going to be good. And from then on, it was just, what do I even think about this? So I'm just...
How many times did you listen to the record?
I said earlier, 4 times I've listened to it, and I'm kind of warming up to the tracks, but I don't know, like, where I'd evaluate it at. Other than...
I can think of a million, like, records I've listened to that have, like, became some of my favorite records, but at first it was just like, you can't latch.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Do you feel like it's warming up to that point where you're gonna like it?
It's warming up to the part where I'm gonna like it. I just don't know how good it actually is, because it's very accessible for the Slowdive discography, because there's a lot of very out there like albums. Several very out there albums. But my point, I think I'm just going on a tangent at this rate, but point is, it's warming up to me, but I don't know if it'll be the absolute perfect thing I expected, but I don't think it'll be like absolute disappointment like last week's Gorillaz was.
Oh, is it really that bad? I haven't checked it out yet.
I mean, last week's Gorillaz, I would give it, on a numerical scale, a 7 out of 10, but others are giving it like a 5 and a 6. It's not... A lot of people were hyping it up to be absolutely perfect, whereas it was a little bit more feature heavy and kind of lacked in certain places, like this one specific Danny Brown feature where he was like the lead feature of the song, but as listed in like the album, but he only was in for like a verse or 2. But
it's like a ratio thing with the features. Like, you know, like you say, when somebody's featured on something, you know, it's automatic like name dropping, and
Yeah.
people gravitate towards it, and if they go there and it's like for like 2 seconds, then they're like, oh dang it, and then they just walk away. They don't even like think about how they like the song, because they're just like, my person isn't doing their thing.
Oh yeah, I totally get that feeling. It was more of like the problem, like there were 2 artists featured on this one tracks. I think it was like Submission or something like that. It was Danny Brown and someone else. That was Kalila, yeah. And the order on the track was like Danny Brown, then Kalila. So you'd expect that Danny Brown be featured more prominently on the track than Kalila, right?
Yeah, especially considering Danny Brown's like kind of a pretty hyped artist right now. Like,
yeah, it really is.
Even now after Atrocity Exhibition.
Like I explained this like last episode. I thought that Danny Brown's reached like a new stardom that, you know, we kind of wouldn't have expected otherwise. And like he's come across so many radars that it's like kind of a waste to kind of only use him for 2 verses in one song, especially when he's listed as like the prime feature for the song. And there's been other tracks on the album too where the featured artist is probably like 70 to 80% of the song. So it's kind of like, what was going on in Damon Albarn's head when he was pulling this album together? And is this the theme of Gorillaz going forward? Because, as I said earlier, actually, it was very feature-heavy. Some people have described the Gorillaz' most recent album, Humans, as a collection of artists featuring Damon Albarn, sometimes. And don't get me wrong, it's a very good collection, and I'd like to hear maybe some more stuff like this, but maybe just like kind of EPs of this instead of full albums, because as much as I love the kind of amalgamation of music this was, I'd like to hear more of the actual virtual band Gorillaz. Yeah. But I guess that's my sort of shared tangent on the Slowdive record and the Gorillaz record all packed into one. So, and if you guys got any other albums you want to talk about or other artists you want to talk about this week?
I'm getting somewhere. Like, I remember last week I talked about that I was like starting to get myself into the other Mr. Bungle albums that aren't the self-titled.
Yep.
And I'm still in the process of that. I have both albums on my phone now, so I'll be able to do that. I already talked about XXYYXX.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I'm still getting into that. One album that I haven't had the opportunity to listen to just yet, but I have it on my phone so that I can. One artist who I've been into for a while has been this rapper Watsky.
All right, I've heard of him.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was I listened to Watsky for a while. He had an album. He has a full-length album, Cardboard Castles. I enjoyed that. He had some mixtapes before that, A New Kind of Sexy, Nothing Like the First Time. I enjoyed those as well. His self-titled 2009 album I was into. What ended up happening is he released an album in 2014 called All You Can Do that I ended up just not listening to for some reason. And then last year he released Times Infinity, which I did listen to and liked a lot. Like, Times Infinity was a fantastic album. So I got the 2014 album All You Can Do so that I can find out what I was missing. I heard some of the singles off of it and some of the songs that got music videos and everything. There was one like the title track I enjoyed quite a bit. Nice little boom bap kind of rap kind of thing. That was fun. The whole second verse was interesting because like the song is about this one point where he was at Warped Tour and decided to climb up like a fixture of some sort and then dive down into the crowd.
Huh.
And like tackled a couple people.
That's something.
As far as I remember, he put himself and the other people in the hospital.
Oh shit.
So so when he came back for All You Can Do, there were a couple points where he was actually talking about that in the music, and that is especially in the second verse of All You Can Do. It's interesting because the whole verse is like this it's like this winding verse referencing all of the 27 Club.
All right. That sounds pretty interesting. Yeah. Actually, I was trying to remember where I heard of Watsky from. Then I remember, I think Slowdive a little while ago posted their tour playlist, which included several Watsky songs. I can't remember which ones they are for the life of me, but now I gotta look. Slowdive Watsky songs. Slowdive Watsky. But can't remember entirely. But
And I just remembered of one other thing.
Yep.
Yesterday I got a couple of new vinyls. One of them being an album that I know and love already, and I've talked about here, Trout Mask Replica. So I don't need to talk anymore about that album. But another one that I listened to for the first time yesterday and highly enjoyed is the album Life's Too Good by the Sugar Cubes.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it is... Alright, so the Sugar Cubes are the third band fronted by Björk.
Alright.
So, you know... So, there are some songs off this album that I already knew, specifically Birthday.
Alright.
Song that I very much enjoy. But I haven't actually listened to the entire album until now. But now that I have it on vinyl, I did, and it was a fun time. It was this, a lot of people kind of associate this with the Icelandic punk scene. Although it's not all that punk, kind of. I guess kind of, but it's not all that angry or, like, aggressive. It's fast-paced, fun rock music.
Alright. Interesting. Huh. I didn't know that she was in any other projects besides her self-titled Björk project, like...
Yeah, her first band, when she was 17 and 18, was a band called Taffy Takaris. Then she moved on to another band called KUKL, then the Sugar Cubes, and then she went solo. Although, before she joined any of these bands, when she was like 11... she released a self-titled album that was full of these Icelandic folk covers and one originally written instrumental track.
Neat.
She has 5 debuts.
Yeah, 5 debuts. That's kind of a lot for an artist. She's probably like in her late 20s or something?
Well, you mean it's probably just commercial versus underground debuts or whatever.
I guess. Wait, are you referring to right now?
Oh, yeah, like for right now, yeah, she's probably like in her late 20s, very early 30s.
She's 50.
50? Oh, alright.
Her self-titled was released in 1977, and this album was released in 1988.
Okay, alright, but yeah, it's like just, for someone with that long of a career, 5 debuts? It's not...
Yeah, because there's her self-titled... her first debut with Taffy Takaris, and then with KUKL, then Life's Too Good with the Sugar Cubes, then her solo adult debut, which is called Debut.
Neat. That's a lot of stuff, though. But, so, what about you, Joe? Anything else you've been listening to?
Last week was finals week, so...
You didn't have any time for other music?
Cam, you need to check... I think you would like this. Like, I was doing a music history exam thing, and there's this guy named Charles Ives, who's, like, this composer, like, 20th century composer, and he uses a lot of polytonality, and, like, it's really just... It's freaky, and he's, like, pretty much the one who paved the way for, like, the avant-garde, like, John Cage people. But, like, there's this one tune he made called General William Booth enters into heaven, and it's the strangest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. It's just a piano and a voice, but the piano is just playing all like literally clusters on like, and it sounds so funny. And like when you first hear it, when I first heard it, I died laughing. But yeah, that was the kind of stuff I had to listen to, and but nah, then but then listening to The Cure for some reason, I don't know, it's just
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good Cure, right?
yeah, nothing wrong with The Cure, I guess. I don't know. I just can't stop listening to that song, Just Like Heaven, like the da 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 da. Earworm central. I don't know.
Forgive me if like I am completely wrong, but aren't the Cure post-punk?
Yeah. So like they're pretty much the first goth rock band, kind of like pop, emo. I don't know. But
Yeah.
they're post-punk '80s stuff. Like right after like the wave in the '70s of like your punky people, your Iggy Pops, etc.
Your Depeche Modes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty...
Oh, and the. Have you ever heard of the?
The.
The. Yes, the.
I've never heard of the.
You should check out the. They're another angsty thing, but they're more angsty than The Cure. But like this, I was listening to this record that they did called Hanky Panky, and it's a cover of It's like a cover album of all Hank Williams songs, and they're all just like raunched out and like rocky, and like the guy's got like an incredible voice, like it's so angsty, and like that's been my go-to lately, is Hanky Panky by the so
It's ridiculous.
yeah, it is a little weird.
Alright, Cam, this just beats the band as like weirdest name I've ever heard, honestly. Like, this beats out every weird black metal band name that I've ever heard of.
Anal Cunt?
Anal Cunt's grindcore, so that doesn't really count. Grindcore is just meant to be weird and offensive. This is just...
Hitler was a sensitive man.
Oh, God damn it.
Your kid killed yourself because you suck and you feel bad. What an awful, like, waste of space that band is.
I mean, they do something. I mean...
They do a thing.
They do a thing and people like it, so I'd say let them live. Just kind of... I don't know, let the free market choose which bands live and die.
Your kid killed himself
because you
suck and you should feel
Why? I mean, at least there's like an exaggerated joke there. Like something that I've been like reading about like a lot lately has been this circle of like early black metal drama.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Like,
yeah, like
you've
like
heard
the band
about
Mayhem.
and Varg and all that chaos.
Yeah.
Alright, so what did you think about the whole Euronymous bullshit?
Well, that whole situation was a terrible person being murdered by another terrible person.
Yes, indeed.
Like, that's essentially what happened.
Yes, I mean...
This is ridiculous.
Did you ever see the documentary Until the Light Takes Us?
No, I do remember I watched a video that like a documentary video of Varg talking about killing Euronymous.
All right. That may have been an excerpt from Until the Light Takes Us, which is a very good documentary my dad got me for Christmas a few years ago about the Norwegian black metal scene and how effed up it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm kind of glad you're getting into like the history of that, because it's fucked up, but it's very interesting. Just in general, like how it all plays out, how weird and unsettling it is. But yeah, totally. So, all right, hey, Joe, while you're here, could you tell us a little bit about your musical inspirations and I guess a little bit of your experience at UMass Lowell as a music major, even though it is education?
Oh, sure. Uh, if you don't like kids, don't do music education. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, it's a lot of work, and like, it's mostly like, you know, guided in whatever direction they want to put you.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's not much like freedom going on. But yeah, I get by. I've just been I've been writing some stuff lately. I'm excited. Sound Bandits is supposed to be making a record this summer.
Awesome.
Supposedly. So, yeah, that it's in the works. I got like a few new tunes and yeah, no, musical inspirations. I can't even like begin to think about that. It's frightening.
It's like there's too much to list.
I don't know, like that sounds wicked pretentious. No, I mean, like, I literally, I like the band. Everyone keeps telling me I sound like the band, but, like, you know,
I mean, there are elements that, like, sound like the band. Like, the beginning of Astray sounds a lot like
Chest
the
Feeder.
Yeah.
People told me. I literally didn't realize that until after it happened. Like, cause I mean, like, that's all improvised. I didn't make up any. It was all made up on the spot. I wasn't just like, let's rip off Chest Feeder.
Like, I showed that to my dad, and he said that you owe Levon Helm some money.
It's not even in the same key, man. I can't even do that. But lately I've been a jazz guy, mostly. That's been my thing. I've been listening to a lot of, like, great jazz players, like Freddie Hubbard, Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, stuff like that. I don't know, but that's mostly because the best part about going to school is that sometimes, you know, like, you get these jazz teachers that are like Mr. Bebop Man.
That's pretty awesome.
And they are just there's this one teacher I have. His name's Walter Platt. He's like a trumpet player, and he is the smartest man musically like I've ever met in my entire life. But he doesn't give a single shit about anything. He's just like a dude. It's just like the 9-11-13 upper structure triad of the dominant seventh chord. Like, he's like, you should know this shit. And then he goes on and he's just like, I don't know. He talks about how he toured Europe and like, cause he's toured with Alicia Keys, like various big bands. He's played shows with the Tedeschi Trucks band. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Yeah, I haven't, but that sounds great.
No, they're local, like Tedeschi Food Shops. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's
maybe once or twice.
Yeah, like they're not around anymore. The 7-Eleven now, I guess. But like,
does the one that's up the street still has a Tedeschi?
Yeah, they're slowly being turned into 7-Elevens, but there's still like a few remaining Tedeschis standing tall and proud.
But that all started with like this immigrant who was selling like produce on a cart, and the Tedeschi family accrued like this huge fortune, and this singer called Susan Tedeschi is from Norwell,
Mm-hmm.
and she ended up like winning blues festivals all over the place and got famous, and then married Derek Trucks, who's like one of the greatest guitar players like right now,
Huh.
without a doubt. And like he was Derek Trucks is the nephew of the drummer for the Allman Brothers Band, and he ended up playing with the Allman Brothers Band. But those Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks like hooked up and made a group, and it's like soul rock stuff, and it's incredible. It's like they have like full horn section and everything, and she has like the greatest voice I've ever heard. And my professor got to play with them, and like I freaked out when he told me that he played with them. And yeah, but wow, I was talking about my musical influences, and then I started talking about my professor and the people he played with, and then I'm a scatter.
Everyone's a scatter. I mean, this podcast is unstructured for a reason for the most part.
But I'd say dad rock is essentially my roots.
Your Pink Floyds, your Led Zeppelins.
I mean, I'd say I'm going to see the Zombies next week. They're a British invasion group. They're same era as the Beatles, but you know they never cut through like the Beatles. But I don't know. I like a lot of There's a band called Love that I really like. That's like they were contemporary. I don't know. A lot of obscure psych rock stuff is my big thing.
All right. So you said psych rock. Do you listen to any King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard by any chance?
Yes.
All right. What did you think about their newest record, Flying Microtonal Banana? Yep.
Oh my. The thing is, like, in the mission statement of that record, they were talking about how they want to create a new, like, syntax for melodies or whatever. They wanted to make it so that microtones are a common thing in you know today's music, and like it's valiant and it's really admirable, but you know there's some people that will always just be repulsed by it because of our ears being all westernized. But they did a hell of a job of like making these things actually seem palatable, because microtones to a lot of people it's just like, that's out of tune, man, like I don't like that. But like Rattlesnake is a banger.
Rattlesnake is the next song on the list of songs white people get lit to.
Yeah, no, it could happen. It could happen.
It really could if King Gizzard gets a little bit more mainstream popularity.
I'd say my favorite Gizzard record though is Paper Mache Dream Balloon.
Oh, that's really out there. That's like everyone usually defaults to like Nonagon Infinity or
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, generally I like stuff that's a little more soft.
Alright.
But like, you know, I do dig hard stuff, but like I'm very particular about it. But this the record they made, Paper Mache Dream Balloon, it harkened back to like 60s psych rock stuff. It was very traditional. It was like, you know, the roots of psych rock before it became like you have your Tame Impalas and your, you know, like this kind of the Nonagon Infinity stuff.
Yeah.
It was really cool because I got in touch with like this tradition that arose from like, it started out with like folk rock stuff, you know. It's like people got influenced by folk rock stuff and like the troubadours in Greenwich Village, and then they started taking drugs, and then it got weird.
Yeah.
That's how psych rock was made. That's it.
Drugs and then it got weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they took influence from Eastern music too, so they had a lot of drony sitar stuff, and like you know, it's a combination of a lot of things. But it's probably, if I were to pigeonhole myself into a genre, I would say psychedelic rock would be it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
As hard as it is to try to label Oh my god, no. I can't. I'm not gonna say anything that sounds pretentious because I'm not pretentious.
I'd say you're just prog rock, dude, with a lot of psychedelic influence.
I'm sorry, what?
I'd say you like very prog rock with a lot more psychedelic influence, probably.
Well,
That's
like, I do study classical music and jazz, so that
Mhm.
it does seep into my work. I mean, I feel like, if I were to... It's like, the two main genres that I work in are psychedelic rock and jazz.
Mhm.
Like, those are my, like, go-tos. So, I mean, like, they do end up fusing. I mean, some of the, like, different lines I make and chord progressions I make.
Yeah, yeah.
Happen.
But yeah, are you just like really concerned about saying like you don't want to stick to a genre? You just rather be music?
Yeah, I'm really amorphous, and I'm probably like, it's probably to my detriment, but I don't really write for anybody else. I write for myself.
Oh yeah, that's
I barely promote my music. I mean, that's like, I just put it on the internet, and sometimes people like it.
But yeah, hey bro, don't
Particularly Justin.
Yeah. Justin's kind of an evangelist for your music.
It's like, it's off-putting too, because I'm just like, I have such low self-esteem, so I'm just like, nah, man. Like,
bro, let me tell you, How to Move Mountains is probably one of the best psych rock songs I've ever listened to.
yo, man, that means so much. Holy shit.
Like, dude.
That was probably my proudest thing that I've made off of that record.
Like, did you intentionally try and like pick up the Kansas organs for that specific track? Like,
yeah. So I had this MIDI controller, and I got a patch from GarageBand, and it's how I did the Chest Fever thing too. Like, and so like they have like all these different organ sounds you can pick out, and like, yeah, I picked that one out. But the funny thing is, like, at the very end, the part with the EBO feedback thing, like,
yeah, I think so.
There's this thing called an EBO, and you hold it over a string, and it just essentially makes it drone, makes it like just ring out for like as long as you hold the EBO up to the string.
Oh yeah, is that the thing that Trevor usually uses during the sound band?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
I'd always just been calling that the feedback machine.
It is literally a feedback machine, but like at the very end of like that track or whatever, I had it on there, and like I was droning it, and then like towards the very end you can hear like it get really fuzzy, and like that was my mic fucking up, because for some reason, like, if I recorded anything for more than an hour, then my mic would just shit the bed and start going like and like, so at the very end of it, like, it cuts out to that, like, at the part where it gets like real quiet at the end, that like weird, like, not so much feedback, but like electronic-y fucking like thing wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, I totally get you. But it all came together really well. Like, I'd love to hear more just psych rock odysseys like that in your future music if you're up to the challenge.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I mean, I hope I can do more of that. I mean, I with the sound bandits, I mean, we're always gonna be punkier than like, they bring the punk. I mean, I'm more of like the trippy dude, but like, I do appreciate like punk rock genres and stuff like that, especially like Sonic Youth and all the indie rock stuff that happened in the 90s. But like, yeah, I was glad that I was able to get them to do Astray, which was another vibey song that like I didn't expect them to be like into, but they actually liked it.
Astray was really friggin' good, man. Like, I love just how stylish it was for that. It was very psych rocky, but also I think noise rocky too would be the right way to describe it too.
Oh yeah, the part like I do use like heavy distortion in it or whatever, but like it's just like trying to create the contrast, because I mean there is portions where it kind of just like floats, kind of like a psych rock song, and then it just goes like it does like the gliss thing down
Honestly, out of all the songs I've retraced, it's probably the most likely that the sound bandits would be into Astray.
I would say that too, but I actually got Andrew came up to me the other day and he said he liked Blank Slate, so that would be fun. I mean that song, I kind of think of that as like a jangle pop song, like an REM college rock, I don't know, feelies.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But shall we get moving on to reviewing our thoughts on or going over our thoughts on Expect a Miracle?
Sure.
All right. So, Brian Huntress's Expect a Miracle released on, let's see, what's the date? Oh yeah, April 22nd, 2016. So, well over a year since it came out.
Yeah.
I think, but this hasn't been the furthest out, because our previous furthest out has been AAA, Amanda McCarthy, which was like 2015.
I believe so.
Oh yeah. She released that a little bit ago, like a good chunk of time ago, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's been out for a while.
But yeah, so
I should probably start by giving some context as to who Brian Huntress is.
well, actually, mind if I, since he's kind of my cousin. Yeah. So
Get wrecked.
yeah, fight me. Yeah. So Brian Huntress, musical extraordinaire from Rockland, who asuide Justin Arena, basically pioneered the small folk punk scene that we have in this area now. Would you say that he pioneered it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, I mean, the barn.
yeah, he like
He definitely.
Maybe
definitely
it wasn't
provided,
him directly, but it was his.
Like he
his
definitely
house.
he provided the location that made a lot of what happened possible.
yeah. This
The main detail about Brian Huntress that I do want to bring up is the fact that primarily he isn't a musician.
yeah, he's just a full-blown artist.
Yeah, his main things, I think his main thing is painting, but he draws. He drew the album art for Expect a Miracle, and he also does sculpting. So, visual art is his primary focus, but he has delved into music, and he's released several EPs before,
Mm-hmm.
as well as a full-length album here and there, like Summer is Overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't he used to want to be an English major or something?
I believe so, yeah. I think that's what he was going to Massasoit for. Or maybe he was going for like an art major. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, he was going for fine arts there, but I think he told me, because like he's into poetry. I think that's like his other, like his secondary main thing.
Yeah,
Because I mean it shows in the lyrics, but like
true.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, so yeah, Brian Huntress released Expect a Miracle a year ago, and it's filled with a lot of the life experiences he's gone through. His years as a teen and a young adult were, like, very adventurous. He was always going out. He was the rebellious child. He was always doing his own thing, and it really comes out in a lot of the music that he produces, which is either just vague paintings of his experiences or direct retellings of what he's been through as a sort of a lesson to people who are listening to his music. And it's very prominent in this record, that ends up being like a collection of songs he's written over the years, kind of explaining things that have happened to him and giving people this sort of slate to relate to and to project their feelings onto and kind of not feel alone, which is something that Brian has a big interest in doing. He's always kind of preaching messages. He's working in one of the mental hospitals in the area, helping out the kids with drug problems. He's out there trying to send a message, and it's very prominent in the presentation for Expect a Miracle. But he's a very DIY guy. He's had a history with like several different bands, like Anti-Folk, which kind of hope comes back in spirit somehow. We've got his self-titled project. We've got Boxer's Jaw. Was he in anything else?
There were a couple more.
Suicide Sid.
Yeah.
Right.
Suicide and Ghost Boys.
Right. Yes, that one.
And also full band Politics.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which I believe, considering parentheses, Taste of Ink was originally a full band Politics song.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just guessing by the parentheses being FBP.
Oh yeah, it's listed in there in the notes on Bandcamp. So, so what do you guys initially think of Expect a Miracle? Like, diving into it, what were your thoughts at the very start?
Well, what I thought is that I'm Sorry was a little bit physically painful to listen to, and then Resurrection was a little bit emotionally painful to listen to.
Yeah, like, I felt that. You told me last week that I'd be crying to Resurrection, and I was just... No, I didn't, but I felt, like, extremely somber, and I was like, I feel, Brian. I'm...
Oh, it'll get you.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
I mean, like, I honestly felt more emotion, actually, from Graves' Disease, the track later down in the album, because I kind of watched him go through this disease and kind of see, like, what happened to him. Like, Brian and I were relatively close during our younger years and kind of grew apart, but I still kind of saw him, like, kind of going through all these troubles from afar and kind of seeing him transform because of that. And yeah, so that hit me harder than Resurrection. But Resurrection did have a lot of that very hit you in the face with sadness kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that track's fucking heavy.
It is. It really kind of...
Wait, is Graves' Disease the one where it's like, I'll take every pill, take it? Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a cool fucking line. I'm like, I was just... It's so satisfying. Like, a good thing is, like, there's certain lines that appear that are just aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Brian shows a lot of talent in writing just, very poetic lines. Sorry to cut you off there.
I'll take every pill, I'll take every shot if it means just getting rid of what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just great.
And I don't want to, like, stroke his ego, but I mean, he's got a great set of, like, tracks written here, a great set of lyrics written here. It's why his career as, like, just a musician and a poet has kind of taken off. Like, the man is a troubled but fantastically talented artist. But
and one thing that sets Brian apart from a lot of the artists that we've covered at this point, a lot of the albums, is that one of the things that you've mentioned a lot in the previous reviews of the other records, you've mentioned the term lo-fi a lot.
Yeah, I think I have a little bit too much. My apologies if that gets on people's nerves. But no, I kind of get wrapped up in, like...
No,
but
it doesn't apply to any album...
It's recorded on an iPhone.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply to any album that we've talked about more than it applies to Expect a Miracle. And Brian Huntress' style in general.
Yeah.
I feel like... I feel like a cleanly produced Brian Huntress song wouldn't sound quite right.
Yeah, it would
be
annoying.
To be fair, though, there are a few cleanly produced songs on this record, but, like, a fully produced Brian Huntress record that is mastered to peak perfection wouldn't sound right unless it's sort of a parody of bands that go from indie to commercial. Which, honestly, I might have just given him an idea there.
Like, the Summer's Overrated thing. Like, I mean, for Brian Huntress, it's pretty cleanly produced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'd prefer Expect a Miracle any day, like, recorded on an iPhone than a thing with overdubs and shit. I was like, whoa.
Honestly, like, and personally, I don't even have an issue with the fact that it's produced that way, except for I'm Sorry.
Yeah, I'm Sorry is the only one that I really kind of...
Like him screaming, I remember.
I think, I don't know if I was wearing headphones or if I have, like, this, like, radio thing, and, like, I stuck the CD in there. I just remember, as soon as that happened, I was like, and then
yeah, that's what happened.
You...
turn it down, like...
Yo, that was, like... That was, That
was improvised. Like, I'm Sorry, Everything Is Okay. Both of those songs were improvised. Yeah, they were, because, I mean, it's listed in here, it's just, but I think it's just, where is it? Yeah, just kind of improvised everything, so, I don't know where I was going with that anyway, but, moving on. See. But, the man actually, I'd like to kind of make a little bit of a note on the production style of the album itself. Yeah. So, it's very inconsistent in its kind of production style, I'd say. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Some of the songs sound, like, drastically... Like, they sound weird, like they were recorded on different gear or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's, like... I think he probably just, like, tinkered with GarageBand or something and, like, made... Because, I mean, Taste of Ink, like, that doesn't sound like all the other ones in terms of, like, what the recording sounds like.
Yeah, like...
I think it was still on an iPhone, but I think he just reverbed it out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there was a song or two that he actually recorded on a Mac.
There's, like, West Water Street, which is, like, almost, like, crystal and, like, production style as compared to, like, some of the previous tracks. It was kind of jarring, honestly, like, whoa, wait, what's going on here? I mean, the varying levels of lo-fi production were pretty alright, because it's kept, like, a consistent theme going. Like, this is not a nice sounding album. This is going to be very grungy and kind of grinding at the ears, but it's satisfying in the folk punky way. And then West Water Street kind of, like, tones that back and takes away the grime, and then just leaves us with, like, almost crystal production, which might be just a part of a statement on the song itself, I believe.
Now, the version of this thing I have, like, the version of the CD I have doesn't have the track names or whatever. It just says track 1, track 2. So West Water Street, what
Track 5?
What lyrics are in it or whatever?
Let's see. West Water Street. Let's see. It was about him drinking, waking up on the floor.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got that.
Yeah. But it's like, you remember how just professional it sounded, honestly. As much as Brian Huntress can sound professional.
Well, I mean, that can sound... It can... Next to Taste of Ink, like, a fucking potato can...
Yeah.
Could sound professional.
Okay, alright. That's kind of an insult to Taste of Ink. I mean, we should be comparing it to I'm Sorry.
No, I literally love lo-fi shit.
Yeah, I
have no problem with it.
I know, I was just joking around.
And also, I'm Sorry isn't even a bad song.
Yeah, it's just the recording is just borked. But it's stylish.
Only when he screams, I remember.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
Oh.
Like I want to make a soundboard of just little clips of songs, and I want one of them to be I remember. You just hit a button.
Yeah. You know, I might just end up making a soundboard for the podcast, and that might be one of, like, the little sound bites now. Let's see. So, right. Thoughts on, like, the later tracks? Got any?
Speech is Silver's long.
It's long, but it's good.
Long for Brian. No, I was there when he recorded that. Like, the thing is, Justin, Brian, and I were gonna do a split, and Brian, it didn't work because that shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's like make plans, bail on them. It's life. But like, we were gonna make a split, and we were all just like recording different stuff. Like, we were all together and we were just like, we're gonna make a split, 1, 2, 3, go. And then like Brian went out to his car, Justin went into the kitchen, I went into Justin's room, and like, I had like one of Justin's iPads, and I was recording stuff, and Brian came back like it was like 20 minutes. Like, in 20 minutes he came back, he was just like, dude, I recorded one of my tracks, and I was like, oh cool, let's hear it. And like, it was he had like the drag of the cigarette and like the car door closing and like the whatever the fucking song is, like the waltz, like in the background, and then it starts going in, and it was like, nah, he brought it in, and I was like, it actually blew my mind. It was fucked. It's like, he was out there for like 20 minutes, and he just came back, and I was with a 6-minute like odyssey of fucking, I don't even know. Like, it was great.
Speech of Silver is one track that really is a standout as like probably the best track of the album for me, and I was kind of curious as to like whether the very intro was just kind of dubbed in, or if it was part of the natural recording process. And I'm kind of glad to learn about that process through this now.
I think he recorded like the sound of him like going in and dragging a cigarette and the radio or whatever, and then he like put in his like, and the thing is, he recorded it in his car, like, and he doesn't, I think the only one where he actually put like dubbed over his vocals over the guitar was I'm Sorry, because he couldn't play and sing that at the same time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an incredible song. That one and Resurrection are like fucked.
Yeah. The two songs that really stand out on this record, it would be like top 2 of the record probably.
An interesting song is That's What Friends Are For, mainly because like a lot of this album is pretty somber, but That's What Friends Are For isn't.
It's
also what?
It's a little bit somber and more of its in its delivery of the not really somber, but its lyrics are very somber, whereas the delivery is a lot more upbeat than usual.
Oh yeah, it's because he's just doing that like folk progression, like the 1 4 1 5 1 4 1, like it's
that and he's like he has the lyrical style of like, he says a line then he repeats it a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
It's kind of biting though, like the lyrics are definitely biting, like because like I am quite the coward when I don't have them cornered.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking.
Yeah.
Like, a friend can only talk. That's what friends are for, and like that's kind of implying that like, just talking, like when people are all talk, they're just useless.
Yeah. I can totally see that. Now, actually, there's something interesting I kind of want to talk about. Like, several of these songs,
And happy, not beat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's several of the songs he recorded with like missing strings and a left-handed guitar that he's probably not even used to using. I'd like to say for like the Taste of Ink and I'm Sorry were made that way. I'm not sure if there's any other tracks made that way, but I mean those are the two standouts, and how the instrumentation actually sounds pretty neat and interesting, given that kind of handicap of like, hey, he has a guitar that he's not used to using. It's kind of really beat up and shitty, and he still like made something sound really cool out of it.
Yeah, right. No, totally. No, the power chords in Taste of Ink, because like, you know, with a power chord you can usually clearly hear that the first string is hit, and it's the bass note of the power chord. With Taste of Ink, like, it is like inverted. So like the highest note of the power chord is the first note, and like it's like it creates a different effect, but you know, I don't even know if that was an artistic bent or whatever, or if he was just like, yeah, left-handed guitar. But it could be either one, you know.
Yeah, true. Because
that's Brian.
Yeah, he's just kind of an oddball and a very out there character.
So great.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think I've ever had a boring conversation with Brian.
Yeah,
it's messed up.
I don't think that is an existing concept.
Well, because like you'll go up to him and they'll just be like, you know what's weird? Society something. And like, shit, that's profound. And then like you just go on for like 2 hours, and then like it gets to the point where he's just like, yeah.
And you just like, and then you just like you're both just repeating yeah to each other.
Yeah. I'd say like that kind. I'd say that actually that kind of unhinged insanity of conversation can kind of like be kind of taken away at, say, like family parties. But other than that, though, like, yeah, there's no sort of uninteresting conversation with the dude, I'd say.
No, you guys are so tight knit, aren't you? Like all the Huntress Garland clan.
Huntress Garland Child's clan, yeah, they're kind of pretty tight knit. I mean, most of us are like within like a mile of each other, and like the rest always come down whenever there's a party going on. But yeah, so pretty tight knit. We all kind of know each other, all checking on each other. But that's kind of straying away from the focus of the music here.
Not sure.
Yeah.
So you have something to hide?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I have a lot of secrets to hide. I am a criminal.
Skeletons in the closet.
I have actual skeletons in the closet. I wish. But I am just a meek young suburban town boy. Town boy. So, any other interesting thoughts you guys had about the album itself? Like, anything you had to...
It's so funny looking at this track list, because I literally don't know any of the names of the tracks.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you can figure them out if it's like a chorus thing, but like,
Yeah.
there's some of them where it's like, In Love and Dead, I'd never seen that title before.
Yeah.
I've listened to the album so many times, so I know all the tunes, but like, it's just like...
Just not by name.
Yeah, not by name. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, yeah, it is the funny juxtaposition, because he's kind of subverted a lot certain artistic expectations where people would just like name a song after a lyric in it. Like, Brian's a very subversive artist from like what we're seeing here. Like, he's doesn't want to like meet any sort of expectations instead of his own. Yeah.
Oh, no.
He actually just entirely just released an EP like exclusively on his website.
On his website?
Is it Pommel Ritz?
No, that's on Bandcamp. No, Winter to Winter.
Oh, fuck. He made a thing?
Yeah, like, there are some songs that he'll perform, live. Like, there's one song called Goodbye. You know, he usually ends with his.
This is the bonus EP. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm making some progress. That one. The thing was,
because I got a hard copy of Expect a Miracle at the release, and it got to, like, I was looking on Bandcamp, like, the track list or whatever, and I was like, this is, like, not that many tracks. This is more tracks. And then, like, there was the bonus EP at the end, and I was like, Ryan, did you put an EP on the album? Like, and he was like, yeah, literal secret EP. Lol. I was like, fuck.
But see, I downloaded the album on Bandcamp, so I got different secret content.
Oh, did you get the PDF thing?
Yeah, like, I got an ebook, and then I got these 2 videos.
Videos?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Huh. Is this from, like, buying, Expect a Miracle?
Yeah.
Huh. Now I, like, actually have to try and download it, see, like, what it entails, because, like, I only, like, paid for it because the free plays were coming up, and I had to, like, do something.
This was us recording the split.
Oh, no kidding.
Fuck.
This is one of the videos.
Fuck, stop it.
And the other video.
And let's see, where was it?
Like, put this stuff on Hangman, I think, with the music video thing.
Let's download this in ALAC. But so if you had to like just give like a final evaluation on the album, what would you guys say? Like,
Lo-fi, honest, poetic, folk music.
Yes.
Out of 10.
I'd have to say,
I'm doing my rankings.
I would give it just a 52, a solid 52. There's an arbitrary number, 52.
Out of 10.
Out of what?
Out of
Nobody knows. Like,
nobody knows. Basically, my thing is just throwing out arbitrary numbers at this rate because ratings are arbitrary bullshit anyway. But my final actual thoughts would be like, if you're like a weird lo-fi experimental folk punk project, check it out. It's very solid, very angsty, but filled with a lot of heart. There are some problems here and there, like I remember, but I mean, other than that, though, it's a very, very good project. You might find yourself relating to things more than you want to admit, and I guess that's kind of what Brian really wanted from this.
oh, big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, it's like, I've never tried this hard on an album before. When he released it, it was funny.
I guess my rating would be, my girlfriend just texted me the word growl out of 10.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Alright.
His name is Ed.
His name's Ed?
Yeah.
His-
Ed the Flamingo.
I fucking love Ed. Wow.
Ed the Flamingo?
Ed the Flamingo. Look up, Ed_the_flamingo at Ed_the_flamingo on Musically.
On musical, you have a Musically with Ed.
Yeah.
I don't even want to
I
open
deleted
though.
the app because I just wasn't posting Ed anymore. But like, yeah,
Alright,
it's there.
I would like to check it out, but I think Musically is a huge cancer pile, so I don't want to.
It is. That's why I did it.
Oh my god, Cam, you are just a nutso. But that's why we love you. Right?
I guess so.
Right? But, so yeah, listen to Expect a Miracle. Link is in the description. And I guess that concludes our talk about it. Is there any news you guys would like to discuss from like the last couple weeks? Or maybe just the last week?
Oh, cop got shot in Braintree.
Music news.
Music
Music
news.
news.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, I heard it. I heard about that shooting. I saw Brianna Wu virtue signaling about it.
This world's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
That's across from Guitar Center, so I guess it's music news.
Yeah, alright, so yeah, that is technically music-y news.
I guess sort of. You know.
Somewhere in that vicinity.
In that sense.
Yeah.
It's across from Guitar Center and Daddy's Dairy.
Oh, whoa, oh, right over in that. Is it like in that, Motel 6? That Motel 6.
Motel 6 in Braintree.
I actually stayed at that Motel 6 for Anime Boston last year, and it's kind of freaky to hear that, someone got shot there.
Oh, Chris O'Grady wrote an entire album in that Motel 6 and, like, recorded it. And, like, it's on his Bandcamp, and it's, like, literally about a guy trying to kill himself in a Motel 6. And, like, the cover is literally the Motel 6 from Braintree. And it's, like, really dark, but it's great.
I would be concerned about that, because, like, you'd probably maybe get some flack if it were, like, an actual business.
Oh, well, I mean, people... It's a Motel 6.
Yeah, I mean, like, Jason Isbell wrote a song about how he doesn't want to die in a Super 8 motel.
Alright. Yeah, fair enough.
And Jason Isbell's like, you know, he's, you know, he's popping up pretty popular in the whole alt country scene, so, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, actually, one little bit of news that kind of caught my eye this week. Radiohead's releasing a deluxe box edition of OK Computer for its 20th anniversary called OK Not OK. I think, like the 17th of June? Really want to get that, but I mean, just pricing and all that fun junk. I want it on vinyl. It's probably not going to happen. I'm going to have to rebuy it from, like, a reseller at some point. That thing's supposed to have, like, 20 tracks on it, 12 of them being the regular tracks and 8 of them being, like, unreleased tracks, which in Radiohead's, like, discography, the unreleased tracks are usually some of the best. But it's supposed to be, like, art books of, like, stuff that, and lyric sheets, discarded stuff that Tom York threw away. There's a bunch of neat stuff, so I guess if you're a big fan... I mean, it depends on, like, how well your ear is for his kind of crooning high vocals.
I mean, it sounds like he's got his mouth full, and I mean, like, I love Radiohead, but it's so hard, because the thing that pisses me off is that I know the lyrics are good, I just can't understand them, and it's, like, really aggravating.
I can kind of understand that. When I first started listening to them back in December, my ear's kind of more attuned to picking up high and low death metal vocals than it is to picking up, like, croony high vocals like Tom York. So it's just kind of like a difficulty, like, trying to digest what was going on there. Like, Burn the Witch, I still have to kind of remind myself sometimes that his lyric is, "We know where you live," instead of something nonsensical and dumb. And, like... I feel that.
There's a song called Black Star off of the Bends, and it's like, it literally, the entire, you can't understand a thing until the chorus. And then it just goes like, blame it on the Black Star, and it's like, you can finally discern it, but before that, it just sounds like, you can't even.
Yeah, I
do love Radiohead, though. They're really good.
Yeah. I agree.
True.
What do you think about... Oh, what would you say is, like, your favorite Radiohead record? Just off of, like... I don't know. I'm curious.
The Bends.
The Bends? Really?
Yeah. It is kind of a weird thing. I mean, like, everyone says OK Computer, but I say the Bends because...
Yeah, I'm one of the sheep.
Well, oh, yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. You can't deny that that record was, like, so important, especially in the context of, like, you know, postmodern culture, yada, yada, yada. But,
Yeah.
Like, the Bends was back when they were more in touch with their like indie rock roots, like their punky indie rock roots, and it was a rock record, and it wasn't as experimental as some of their other stuff, but I think like it was just, I don't know, I really liked the songwriting on it, and like it was one of the first Radiohead records I picked up, so it will always have like a place in my heart as something that I really like.
I totally understand you, my friend. Like, the Bends has some pretty neat bangers on it, specifically like Fake Plastic Trees, and a benefit to the Bends is that bands from this area would be more likely to play that songs from that if they weren't likely to play Creep. Like, oh god. I've actually talked to them, and they kind of retired Creep because they're so sick of playing it now. I've just suggested Fake Plastic Trees, so maybe they're gonna play it at some point. That'd be pretty sweet to kind of hear that instead of just the same old Radiohead.
Trees is a real cool tune. I've played High and Dry at a couple of shows. I like that tune.
Yeah.
But, I do like the. I just like a lot of the tracks off that record. I do like the Bends, like the title track or whatever. That's really just a cool. There's a video of them playing in Britain where they're playing like the Bends live, and there's one part in it where you hear it on the record, but like you don't know what causes it, but there's this really, really weird noise that goes on, and you can see how they do it. And what he essentially did was he like untuned the last string on his guitar, and he plucked it, and then he like pulled on it, so it went like wow, and like it had this fuzz pedal thing on it. It was so fucking cool. And
oh yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before like their shows just became laser light shows. Before like they were like trying to make a multimedia like artistic extravaganza going on, but like
yeah.
I think the Bends is just like stripped. I dug it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Like, I mean, I've kind of had like a respect for the Bends as being just like, hey, it's a good alt rock record. It's a good step away from Pablo Honey, a slight maturation to the sound, but it still kind of keeps that roots of like a 90s rock that we kind of all love deep down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Like, I mean, it's probably like my favorite 90s rock record alongside Dookie from Green Day, even though that's very mainstream bland, but it's still good. I enjoy it a lot. But let's see. Any other major news after that tangent? Let's see. Frick. And Pitchfork, my only resource for like news from the last week I may have missed, is kind of freezing up on me. Have you come across anything, Cam? Any newsworthy stuff?
No, not really.
All right. Well, actually, one thing we did end up people might have missed out on is the Mostly Stories EP dropped last Friday, I think, right?
That actually reminded me of a different thing that I do know happened.
All right.
There is a musician that I happen to very much enjoy, known as Brandi Carlile.
All right.
Now, Brandi Carlile is kind of decently known, but more so in her own fan base rather than in general being an alt country artist.
Mm-hmm.
A while back, she released an album called The Story. Great album, fantastic singer. It's kind of a it doesn't really have all that much country in it. It's it's a folkier. That's why I use the term alt country. It's a folkier record than what you'd expect from a country album, but she does have the accent and everything. She does have kind of that stylistic direction going. What she decided to do was she decided to release an album called Cover Stories, which is a series of people covering the songs off of the story, which includes Pearl Jam. She got Pearl Jam to cover a song off of her album.
Huh.
And I believe recently the album Cover Stories has been released.
Ooh.
So that's exciting news.
Neat.
I think.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I guess on new releases, again, the Slow Dive self-titled came out. Pretty divisive. I've seen people... I'm probably like a minority in the fact that I only like the two singles the most, but I mean, yeah, check that out too. Any new releases you have been hyped up for and may or may not have been disappointed by, Joe? All right.
I've been in the school bubble.
Oh yeah, so you kind of like tuned out everything else outside of like what's been happening.
Under a rock. It's hard sometimes. I mean, I listened to a few tracks. Oh, Robin Hitchcock, who's like this one guy who's like alt rock, college rock, 80s guy. He just came out with a new record, and it's like, first in a while. That's cool. And I've listened to Daisy Bones. I like Mantra the most, but yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I liked like the first half of that record the most. Like I couldn't really pick a favorite. I mean, I probably did last episode, but like I just really couldn't pick a favorite now. There's like, looking back on it, like it's like the first half of that record is so good and fun.
Yeah, it's a fun record.
Yeah. This thing, interesting thing, I guess. Depeche Mode covered David Bowie's Heroes at tour opener. I guess that's kind of a neat little tribute. I mean, Depeche Mode, the most recent album.
Heroes is the most recent thing Bowie did, right?
No, the most recent thing Bowie did was Black Star.
Black Star, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of confusing.
Yeah. But
Heroes is the one where he's like.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I may have heard Heroes once or twice, but I'm interested to listen to like what Depeche Mode has done with it. I mean, like they've kind of kept their regular Depeche Mode style, but they're kind of out there and weird now. Like the most recent record, Spirit, which is basically one big middle finger to Donald Trump, was a little bit preachy and a little bit heavy-handed on the politics, and there was not really much nuance to the writing. So I'm wondering what they would have done with it in general. But I mean, since they kind of kept up on the instrumentation over these last 30 years, I'd say like they probably handled it pretty well as far as a cover goes.
You know what that actually reminded me of? A while back, when I was doing my Facebook live stream reviews just on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last one that I did was "Dearly Beloved" by Little Musket.
All right.
I just recently learned that the song "Enjoy the Silence" is a Depeche Mode cover.
Oh.
Like, I just didn't know that at first.
Which one is that from? Well, which album is that? Let me just look, actually. Enjoy the Silence, but keep talking, my friend.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just recently learned that, like, it was originally a Depeche Mode song. And like, it's done in, like, Little Musket's usual, like, spacey and gothic and distant style of music that she does.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't occur to me that it could possibly have originally been a Depeche Mode song. And then I found out it was. I don't know why I didn't notice when I listened to the album that, like, if you click on a track, it says Depeche Mode cover when you look at the lyrics. Probably because I didn't look at the lyrics. But I mean, I knew that the last song on Dearly Beloved, Flower, was a cover of Liz Phair.
It's just it's just those things that slip under the radar. Like when I listen to
I thought that was the original thing. I was like, whoa. Like, but then I found out it was a cover. I was like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah.
cool.
What, Flower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
What? The first time I listened to the album, the EP, was me and Justin. We were just sitting there. That song comes on. Like it was just like dead silent except for the song.
Oh Lord.
Ian, you'll understand what we're talking about if you listen to Dearly Beloved by Little Musket.
Dearly Beloved, Little Musket. Okay. That is on the listen list.
And also, in order to add context to make listening to that record more uncomfortable, she's dating Brian.
Oh, alright. Little Musket's a local thing. Okay, alright. Right, okay. Alright, that makes more sense now. Alright, okay. Alright. Oh, Ghost Boy. That's one of the tracks on there. And During the Silence. Alright, okay, alright. I'll have to check that out at some point. Any other news? Any other news that like really stands out to me, to you guys? Yeah, neat. I gotta.
It's red and transparent.
Oh wait, the Captain Beefheart record is transparent red.
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I'll have to come and see that at some point.
And then the other Beefheart record that I recently got is all white.
Ooh, yeah. I love my colored records. I think all of my Dark Tranquility records are like really funky, weird colors. And the one Insomnium record I got for for last year's release is like just gold, solid gold. Well, not really solid gold, but the color gold, and it's just so cool with like the album artwork and whatnot. Yeah.
I'm just gaining access to some fancy colored vinyl.
Yeah. We should just do like an episode talking about our neat colored vinyl and our album.
I already talked about all of my neat colored vinyl. I only have 2 records.
All right. Well, we should just do an episode on records that we have or something like that. Maybe like some sort of off the cuff or off the record kind of thing.
I guess so.
I thought that was funny.
We do a thing with the radio show I do at LOL. Like we do this thing called Off the Shelf, where we just go into the back of the record room and we try to find like the most random thing in there, and we turn it on and we just live react to it, and like sometimes like it's horrendous. And
I'm just imagining like that happens with Philosophy of the World by the Shags.
Oh, it's great. It's a great time.
I would imagine.
But we have this one guy that keeps calling in Beefheart stuff. It's really funny. Like he keeps calling in Adrian Ballou and Beefheart, and he's almost without fail, like every show he requests some weird thing, and it's great because he likes what we play. It's
That's awesome. You got a dedicated fan.
yeah.
Something we wish we had.
And you don't know this, Ian, because you're not in the room with me and Joe. But Trout Mask Replica is a double album because it's so long, and I have side 1 on one of my 2 record players, and then I have side 3 on another one. So I'm capable of playing both of those records at the same time. That being starting with Frownland off of side 1, and then Hair Pie Bake 2 off of the other record.
That sounds like a horrific mess, but a wonderful horrific mess of sonic nuttiness.
Like as soon as this live stream ends, I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah. So I think, should we call it here, guys? Yeah.
Just about covered everything we need to.
Yeah. All right. So just to kind of, what should we cover for next week? Joe, you got any suggestions? We've done a lot of indie rock, and I'm looking for something that's not indie rock for once.
Not indie rock. All right. Well, I mean, you looking for something local or?
Yeah.
Local, yeah.
That's what we do.
Oh, okay. Wait. guys are into like proggy.
We'll
metal.
listen to anything, and we'll listen to, like, this is dedicated to just local music. We don't care what it is.
Okay, so there's a band called Geff.
Geff?
G-E-P-H. They're like they're a local group, and it's like a prog metal jazz fusion sort of thing, and it's like these two guys with Chapman sticks and a drummer, and it's just so cool.
Huh.
It's mostly instrumental stuff, but it just sounds incredible, and like they do all sorts of cool like meter stuff.
And you know how much I like my prog metal jazz fusions.
Yeah. Oh. I'm actually honestly looking forward to this because, I mean, like, it's been like weeks of rocks or folky stuff, and I'm excited to hear some metal. I mean, like, metal.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I mean, like, there's no vocals, but like it's really cool. Like because you know what a Chapman stick is?
Not necessarily.
Do yourself a favor and just Google image a Chapman stick.
Chapman stick.
Because they use two of those.
Chapman stick.
Chap with a P.
Chap, yeah. Let's see. That's interesting. I've seen some guitars that kind of look similar to that. I think one guy from the...
18-string guitars.
Oh, that's 18 strings. Oh, okay.
No, I mean, like, there's so many, like, people who have, like, just crazy guitars with, like, 15 million strings.
This looks like a gent band's, like, wet dream.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, it has the range, like, for so much shit.
Yeah. So, they're both just using Chapman sticks. Oh, there's no bass to this record?
Nope.
Oh.
It's two Chapman sticks.
All right, but I mean,
I think they recently made a new record too, so I don't know, but like you'd have to look into it.
Let's see. Geff. Let's see. They don't have anything listed on their Bandcamp aside from just Geff by Geff. There's the self-titled album. When did this?
Oh, they got. If you have a hard time getting stuff, there's stuff by John Tyler Kent, which is the same instrumentation, and he's one of the members of Geff, and they do a lot of the songs that Geff does.
Let's see. John Tyler Kent Music Bandcamp. Let's see. Let's see. There is Digits, which came out 2000. Oh, well, alright, so John Tyler Kent's stuff hasn't been updated since 2014, so I think to kind of stick with, like, relatively close to local stuff, relatively close to recent stuff, let's go with just Geff.
Yeah, do it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Self-titled Geff.
Alright, that's our next review. I hope you kind of managed to get through it, Cameron.
I did.
Alright, cool.
Did you doubt me?
I kind of doubt you, because you don't seem to be well versed in metal at all, or seem to enjoy it that much outside of, like, the few projects you hear. But,
I'll be fine.
alright.
Very tasteful.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's just the right amount of not tasteful.
Okay. Alright, so, Joe, would you like to tell us, what you got going on, where people can find you, all that fun stuff?
My Facebook page is facebook.com/BradDadRock. It's 97.
Alright.
And I'm SoundCloud Joe Folan and friends, and Bandcamp is just Joe Folan. Yeah, do it if you want.
as well as Sound Bandits.
Oh yeah. We got Bandcamp for them, for those guys.
Yeah. You got.
It's good.
Can I just say, you gotta, like.
It's real. It's like everything we have on there is so lo-fi, so it's like.
Well, I mean, I get it's a live recording, like barn tapes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like two bandits. It's just you and Tim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But I mean,
but then there's Who to Be.
But yeah, the single.
Yeah, single's good.
Yeah. I gotta say, you guys are kind of.
I mean, I guess that's why I'm like excited to hear like the Sound Bandits album.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. We're thinking about like finding recording stuff. We might just rent it and just pump it out ourselves, or we might go to Owen or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Like I say, that's kind of a confusing setup you got in there on the two different band camps. Like, you got all the Sound Bandit stuff on your band camp, and I think almost all of your stuff is on the Sound Bandits band camp. You gotta need to differentiate somewhere, man.
Well, no, I just have the barn tapes on both.
Alright. Well, I mean, that's like most of the Sound Bandits online discography there, though, so gotta I don't know, but
So, like once there is once there is like a fully fledged like Sound Bandits album, I think like at that point it'll start to differentiate.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna upload that to my individual. But...
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'll be excited to see that when that eventually comes up. Probably like end of summers when you kind of ballpark it.
Yeah, I'm feeling. Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Alright, sweet. And you guys are just going with what you've been going with these last few years?
Well, we have a few new tracks. I think it's probably gonna be like 6 new ones, and then like the rest we're gonna like re-record a couple of them that were on the barn tapes, like just to get like polished stuff out of it. But yeah.
Any specific song you mind telling us about that's gonna be re-recorded off of the barn tapes?
We're gonna re-record Solve Me. We're gonna re-record Glass, and we haven't recorded Cheap yet, but like that's Trevor's tune that he wrote, and like we haven't even touched that. But like those are our 3 ones that we usually close with. So like, yeah.
I gotcha. I personally, I would love to hear "Fool Me Once" if you guys can fit it in there, but if you can't, totally understand that.
I gotcha. I mean, well, that's actually a tune that I have on my first record I put out. So.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So there's 2 recordings of that song out there.
Huh.
At this point.
On your Joe Fallen Bandcamp? I must have like glazed over that entirely. Oh, Highs and Lows.
A little slower, but yeah, it's more like groovy than the Barn Tapes version.
Yeah, personally, I like the Barn Tapes version for. It is the noise rock kind of punky sound that I kind of wanted for podcast opening, which will eventually happen. Christ, I gotta get on to doing that. But yeah, so, but Fool Me Once, I'd love to see that revisited if you guys ever get the chance to.
Noted.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to hear that album sometime soon. Like, there's a lot of stuff we're hoping to hear. Like, Regime's supposed to have something new. The Caps were supposed to have an EP. Who else is supposed to be Justin's doing something new, but that won't probably be till the end of summer. The end of summer is going to be really busy for us, Cam.
Yeah, true.
I mean, everyone's just going to be writing stuff over the summer. I think Spider is finally getting something done over the summer, I think. So we might have that to look forward to if that happens.
Gonna have to protect my hand.
Yes, you will. But, so, Cam, anything you'd like to tell us about? Where can we find you? Whatnot?
zthestranger.bandcamp.com.
All right.
Facebook.com/zthestranger. If you want to see me like sending shit posts to celebrities, then Twitter.com/zthestranger.
Yeah, go follow his Twitter because it is delightfully beautiful. Every time he has someone over, it's a new shit post. Several shit posts.
So far, nobody has responded to me, and like I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Ed Sheeran to tell me how I can get 1,000.
Oh, I mean, like, really, you just gotta start tweeting at like the D-list celebrities, like, and just see who finally bites the bullet.
Someone's going to. Someone will talk to me.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Try and find like
I told Drake Bell to look up my Bandcamp.
Like, yeah, he's like a D-list celebrity, so like he should have probably bitten the bullet, but I mean,
Here's the thing. He posted on Twitter. He was just like, I'm gonna follow everyone who replies to this. And I'm just like, I mean, you can follow me, but you could also just check out zthestranger.bandcamp.com. And I don't know if he did. I hope he did. And I hope that he liked my music. I hope that like he thought Rose was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he enjoyed what I was going with on Divided by Zero. You know. Yeah.
What is that dude even doing nowadays?
He does music. He says like ridiculous things on Twitter. That's what he does. That's what he does. That's his career.
Oh yeah, so follow Z the Stranger on Twitter to see quality stuff like Z the Stranger tweeting at Bill Clinton a picture of Justin Arena holding a cat, and whose face is that at Alex Jones?
I can't even remember. Hold on. Wait a minute, I remember. Hold on.
Is that Joe Folan? Joe Folan's face tweeted at Alex Jones?
I do love Alex Jones.
I like him as a meme.
The thing is, my dad grew up like listening to that stuff just for fun. Like he didn't. He just like, oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm glad that your family has an understand. I'm just really glad that your family kind of enjoys things ironically before enjoying things ironically was a big thing. Because that is some very, very early irony. You are ironic hipsters of irony. Ironic hipsters of ironic hipsters. Let's see. But, so yeah, Cam's got a record coming out sometime this month. Don't breathe down his neck on it, though, like I have. Just kind of let it happen. And
It'll happen. I'm ready now. I'm all good.
Awesome. I'm glad you're getting out of your funk and getting it out there, buddy. Here's to an awesome record. And if you want to find me to post about music or whatnot, eventually get a demo vocal track out, check out my Facebook, Bandcamp, my Bandcamp fan account, and Twitter. I don't tweet that much, but I guess I'm getting followed by random artists, so something's happening with Twitter. I might tweet more, whatever. But nothing really interesting's happening right now. Just trying to find more jobs and whatnot. But we'll see where life takes me. And this has been the Not Moo podcast. I'm a nerd. I'm Ian.
I am a musician. I'm Cameron.
And with our lovely guest,
Joe.
of the Sound Bandits. We'll work on an outro at some point. Whatever. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening. Follow us on Facebooks, subscribe on YouTube, give us a like, a share, whatnot. Comment, please. Tell us if we are doing things right or wrong, if you like what we're doing. And have yourselves a fantastic week. We'll see you next week at 7 p.m. on Sunday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.